What's up everybody, this is Danny. Today I'm going to be looking at the iPhone 6 5.5 inch mock-up. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I covered the 4.7 inch mock-up, which is on the left, and this is a much bigger one. It is rumored that Apple is going to release two different iPhones, the 4.7 inch and the 5.5 inch model. Of course, this is all just speculation and rumors until the devices get announced. Now, looking at the design language of both of these mock-ups, they look very much the same. Where the power button and SIM tray is the same, and on the opposite side, where the mute and vibration switch and the volume rockers are also the same, and on the bottom, you will see the 3.5mm headphone jack, the lightning port, and the speaker cutouts. On the tops of both of these devices, absolutely nothing, just metal. Now, looking back at the cameras, if you've seen my 4.7 inch mock-up video, then you can see that there is a protruding camera there. A lot of people were upset about that and thought that was extremely ugly. It looks like that it is completely flush on the 5.5 inch model, so I'm hoping that will make it to the final design. Now, we're not sure exactly what kind of camera we're going to get in the new iPhone 6, but we're sure to see some improvements. Just like the iPhone 5S, looks like both of these models will retain the Touch ID fingerprint system in the home button, as you can see with the rings. And up top, you will see the earpieces, the front-facing camera, and your appropriate sensors. Now, you can see how much bigger this 5.5 inch model is. You have the iPhone 5S to the left, the 4.7 in the middle, and the 5.5 on the right, and there is a good stack of them right there. So you can just see that it's progressively getting bigger, and I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited to have a bigger screen. That's one of the biggest gripes that I had about the iPhone, and I still do about the iPhone 5S, and it looks like it's getting much thinner as well. Now, that's the one thing that we always know that Apple's going to do, is they just have this obsession with making everything thin, and this 5.5 inch mock-up is no exception. You can see how thin this model is in comparison to the iPhone 5S. A lot of people wanted to see just the comparison of the 5.5 inch to the iPhone 5S, and there it is. And you can see how chunky the iPhone 5S looks in comparison to this 5.5 inch mock-up. So if this device is real, then you know it's definitely going to be a thin device. The feeling in the hand is quite nice due to its thinness, but the first thing that I notice is the placement of the power button. It is way too high on this phone. It would have been much more natural where my thumb is right now, right in the middle. It would have been much easier to get to. And the same thing with the volume rockers on the other side. They're much too high, but with the 5.5 inch device, it's going to be a two-handed phone anyway, so I guess it could be negated. But there is the 4.7 inch versus the 5.5 inch. The 4.7 inch for me is the sweet spot. I definitely prefer it in my opinion. So let's just have a little bit of fun here and stack them up versus some of the Android flagships out there, especially the 5.5 inch devices. Here is the iPhone 6 5.5 inch mock-up versus the LG G3, which has a 5.5 inch display. You can see that the bezels are much thinner on the G3, and also the G3 is shorter. Now, here is the OPPO Find 7, which is another 5.5 inch Android phone, and you can see it's quite tall. So if you look at the dimensions of these two, they're very, very similar. So if you've seen an OPPO Find 7 before, then you might get the feel of the size of this mock-up. Now, here is the OnePlus One, which is also the same design as the OPPO Find 7, and these are also very similar in design. So this gets me pretty excited for this 5.5 inch if it's real. Just for size comparison, we're going to compare it to the Samsung Galaxy S5, which has a 5.1 inch display, and naturally it's going to be shorter, and this 5.5 inch mock-up is naturally going to be wider. Now, this is the Htc One M8 with a 5 inch display, and the M8 is a pretty tall device, so you can see that this mock-up is taller than the Htc One M8, which a lot of people own. So you can kind of get a good feel of how big this mock-up is. So what do you guys think? Do you think this 5.5 inch model is real or it's in production? Me, I'm not quite sure about it. I know the 4.7 is probably in production. So what do you guys think? Do you like the 5.5 inch model? I know a lot of people have been looking for something this large with the iOS platform on it, or would you rather stick with the 4.7? Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know if you enjoyed this video so I can cover more things like this. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter @SuperScientific, and I will see you guys in the next video.